How many of you go to baseball games or any sporting event in any city? So let me say this to my friends in Vegas. When you're going to a Raiders game or a Golden Knights game, do you start and end the night in one of the casinos? Many of you probably do. When you're going to the Sphere and you have to walk through the Venetian, do you stop and put a little doll hair on red or black or 00 green? Do you play one hand of blackjack, take one spin of the wheel? My experience tells me that that's not actually what you're doing. There are a small number of people who go to the Sphere, or a small number of people who go to the Raiders game or the Knights game, Golden Knights in the NHL, and they'll stop at the casino, wherever the casino is, because there's casinos all over Vegas. Well, Steve Cohen and the Mets have a plan, and the plan is getting closer to reality. For those of you New Yorkers, I don't know where we were last census, but let's say 6% of our audience. For those of you New Yorkers, you're getting a casino around Citi Field. Hard Rock is going to open. Are they going to have a guitar hotel? I bet not, but maybe that's their thing, although that would seem way too tall for that area when flights to LaGuardia are on final approach to runway 3L past Rikers Island. The aviators out there will know what I mean. When they go, there's sometimes you go right down the East Coast, east side of Manhattan, and you fly north where you can see the Empire State Building off to your left, the Statue of Liberty, and then you curve around and you're on final approach. You're coming so close to Citi Field that during a game you can see who's batting, for crying out loud. Well, Steve Cohen is tired of the chop shops. Steve Cohen is tired of people having no entertainment options around Citi Field, and what he's decided to do around Citi Field, and what he's decided to do is to try to get a casino approved. And just the other day, the New York Gaming Facility Location Board recommended that Steve Cohen and Hard Rock should receive a license to open a Las Vegas-style casino in New York City. In New York, concrete dreams and strikeouts are made of. The Mets, they don't win. Is that what you're going to do? You're going to go to Coca, Scott, are you guys going to go to Citi Field and just stop at the casino? Maybe put a schmeckel or two on a roulette number? Now, for those of you who are thinking this is insane, that there's going to be a New York City, Vegas-like casino, and you're thinking, what are we, turning into Vegas? Are we Atlantic City? Are we St. Louis? What are we? So many cities have casinos now. It's not as big a deal as it once was. But that said, I think we can all agree on one thing. There are certain casinos, I don't want to say all. I don't want to fight with Vegas. I love Vegas. However, there have been studies done that there are casinos that are more crowded twice a month when welfare checks and government subsidy checks come in. There are casinos where the clientele in the non-VIP areas are not your typical baseball clientele. I am not in any way impugning those who go to casinos with cigarettes dangling from their mouths as they blindly press a button because you don't even have to crank the slot machine any longer. I am in no way talking down about those who want to find a better life through gambling in a casino. That's not what I'm trying to do. What I am trying to do is tell you that if an owner is saying, hey, this is good for our fans, they're not being honest with you. The demographic of a baseball fan, whether it's New York, whether it is Milwaukee or Florida, the overwhelming audience that you're catering to, they want entertainment options. They want dining options. They want the Battery in Atlanta. They want Wrigleyville. They want Yawkey Way. They are not getting to Citi Field early to go spend a couple C notes in the casino. Why was it so important for Steve Cohen to get this license? Because it's part of an overall development plan from which he will stand to profit. Not the only one, but he will stand to profit. But what he's going to profit from is the development, not from increased revenue at Mets games. The U.S. Open was completely against it and had to settle with Steve Cohen over parking issues. Neighborhoods likely against it, politicians not. I will let you guess why politicians are in favor of what Steve Cohen wants. I will let you look at the records of donations and see whether the correlation exists, because I know of these correlations. Building of a casino. But what will be sold to you is the other development. What will be sold to you is the world-class hotel, the convention center, the entertainment venue, the open park space, because that's exactly what I'm going to do, is I'm going to take the train to Citi Field early so I can take advantage of the park space. That's my plan. I'm going to go to Citi Field early, and instead of getting my car broken into or sent directly to the chop shop, instead, I'm going to be surrounded by glitz and glamour and beauty and safety and cops and money and economic vigor. Give me a break. There is not one study that you can point to that the development of a casino as the center anchor of a development leads to that development being an A+ development. Not one study, not one example. Find one for me. Putting this casino in New York, and it's now just perfunctory. The fact that the Gaming Facility Location Board recommended it, the next step is that it actually has to be voted on. At the end of this month, the New York State Gaming Commission will formally vote on whether or not they will follow the Location Board's recommendations. And believe me, the Location Board does not recommend a location that doesn't then get voted on positively by the commission. This license will be granted to Steve Cohen to get this casino built around Citi Field. If you're a team who likes taking revenue sharing from Steve Cohen, it's not like you're about to get more revenue sharing. If you're a team who looks at the Mets payroll and says it's already out of control, the casino and the development's going to make it more so, nope. The Mets and their ability to sign players, which we'll talk about in next hour, their ability to be out of control is not related to the incremental revenue that will be received by Steve Cohen with the development around Citi Field and the casino. It is simply not going to happen. The Mets payroll is where it is, and it's already a number that is uncomfortable to the industry from a P&L standpoint, from a PR standpoint. And when the Mets don't make the playoffs because they are so dysfunctional and they can't put together a team, a real team that is laughed at and appreciated and loved by the other 29 clubs who are well rooting against the Mets, believe you me, the casino will not change anything. It won't make it more popular, less popular, side popular, back popular, front popular, none of it.